Hey, let me talk to you like someone who has actually lived with this TV every single day, because this isn't just another screen. This is the S85F. This is for the kind of person who feels when something isn't quite capturing the moment. You watch a scene that should look stunning, but instead it feels flat. You notice when motion doesn't flow, when sound stays anchored to the screen instead of wrapping around you. You've moved past settling for good enough. And before you go any further, take a moment to check the current price and stock screens. This capable don't stay stable online for long. There's always a moment you remember. Maybe it was a movie night and a bright scene washed out detail instead of enhancing it. Maybe it was a game where fast motion looked muddled instead of fluid. You don't get annoyed anymore. You realize your current setup is holding back the moment. The first time you switch to this, everything clicks. Motion feels cleaner, colors feel purposeful, and depth suddenly feels present instead of implied. Living with it changes how your space feels. Movies feel more cinematic, where scenes hold depth and transitions feel natural. Gaming feels responsive and smooth, where every motion feels intentional. Even everyday TV feels richer, because there's clarity and precision you didn't realize you were missing. You stop fiddling with settings and start absorbing the experience. Once you've felt this level of motion clarity and processing intelligence, your standards were set without you even noticing. Every time you glance at a lesser screen, your mind pulls back here because you already know what you'd be giving up. If this is on your radar more than once, don't wait for random stock dips or unexpected price jumps that always seem to show up after hesitation. Maybe you think a mid-tier OLED one feel different enough. That doubt fades quicker than you think. It doesn't overwhelm, it balances. The surprise benefit is how relaxed your eyes feel. Nothing fights your attention. Detail feels accessible instead of forced. You just see the moment the way it was meant to be seen. Owning this feels intentional. There is a quiet confidence every time you press play, because you know your screen isn't letting the moment fall flat. It feels like the visuals you always hoped for finally delivered. You feel contrast that feels alive. You feel motion that stays fluid. You feel depth you didn't think you were missing. You feel immersion that fills your space. You feel satisfaction every time it turns on. It does reward higher quality sources. And once you reused to it, flatter screens feel limited. Eventually, the comparison loop just ends. You choose the screen you already knew you wanted. Don't let this be one of those upgrades you delay and regret later. Check the price, trust that instinct you've been feeling, and make it yours.